Purity culture did not teach me shit. As long as you wait until your wedding night, everything will be totally fine. Your husband won't see you as dirty. You'll be whole. I didn't know what masturbation was. I just knew that it was wrong. I really wasn't taught anything about STDs or STIs, only that if you had AIDS, that meant you were gay and that was God's punishment for you being gay. Like, what? Christian couples are sprinting towards marriage for logistical and religious reasons. And the goal gets framed as pleasing God or pleasing your parents or pleasing your elders, when in reality, the only needs you should be meeting are your partners. Today, I want to talk about the benefits of cohabitation and premarital sex. 1, it clarifies your actual marriage motivator. If you've already had sex and are living together, you know why you're choosing this person. Number 2, you learn how you actually live together, because cohabitating reveals a lot. Cleanliness habits. What time do you go to sleep? What time do you wake up? What are your noise levels? What is your routine? And for a lot of couples, you find a middle ground. But for others, you discover a deal breaker that how the F could you have anticipated if you had never had sex or lived together before you got married. Either way, in my opinion, it's better to know these things before you're signing a legally binding contract. That is a headache to get out of. Number 3, you learn who they are sexually. We've all heard the story of, oh, they looked perfect on paper, but the wedding night happened and they turned into this totally different person. They had these expectations, these rules in the bedroom, anything and everything that you can think of, they brought up. And then the other partner, whoa. What do you have to say about this, huh? What do you have to say about this? The other party's totally caught off guard. Like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not what I consented to. Because for a lot of couples, sex is not just 1 minute out of your day. It can be hours out of your day, depending on what you like and what you're into and what you want. So if your partner wants one thing and you are not aligned and you find that out after you're already married, this is not just a breakup. This is like, it gets so complicated. It gets so complicated. I went to Biola University, Bible Institute of Los Angeles, and there was this whole like ring before spring fad. Like the amount of couples that met freshman semester and then were like, ring before spring, like, will he propose to me before the end of this like first year of being a freshman? Like, dude, the pressure of that is crazy. And this is specifically for like the 18 to 22-year-old age frame. That is so young. That is insanely young to be like, oh, you're my person. God told me you're my person. God told me you're gonna spend the rest of your life with me, or I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with you. Either way, it's like, And then number 5, bad sex is not a deal breaker because you can grow together. You can figure out each other's likes and dislikes. You can figure out how each other's bodies work, what feels good, especially if you guys are inexperienced and don't know where the things are. Yeah, the mapping of things. Communication. Bad sex can be fixed in a good relationship. And the problem isn't even bad sex. It's going in totally blind with no framework to talk about it after you've already legally and spiritually committed to each other. The sex ed vacuum. Comment below if you were in one too, because purity culture did not teach me shit. It actively withheld really important, helpful, information, in my opinion. I was basically taught that if you abstain from sex, then you'll be good. As long as you wait until your wedding night, everything will be totally fine. Your husband won't see you as dirty. You'll be whole. I didn't know what masturbation was. I just knew that it was wrong. I really wasn't taught anything about STDs or STIs, only that if you had AIDS, that meant you were gay and that was God's punishment for you being gay. Like, what? That's abstinence only shit and homophobia shit, like in one little bundle. And the result is people entering into legally binding marriages without basic knowledge about their own anatomy or their partner's anatomy, STIs and STDs, and not even knowing what consent is. When you're raised believing that the man is the head of the house and the woman is supposed to submit, how the fuck are you supposed to know what consent is when you believe and when you inherently believe that the woman is supposed to submit to you? And then there's the post-wedding shame hangover. Just because you have a ring on your finger does not mean that shame goes away. When you're taught from such an early age that sex is dirty, that intimacy is dirty, you can't be alone with another man until your wedding night, or else you'll be stained, you're whatever. Just because it's official, just because you signed a document and you said I do, does not mean that that shame is going away or that guilt. That's not how the human brain works. That's not how shame works. Especially for women who carry a disproportionately amount of shame regarding the messaging of purity. You are the gatekeeper. You're responsible for staying pure for your husband. You're responsible for male lust. Oh, don't wear that or you're gonna get... Your value is in your virginity. And for both men and women, sex feels wrong, even if it's allowed. Even if it's on the wedding night after you've already done what you're supposed to do. That's your body doing what it's designed to do. It's protecting you from something that you thought was so dirty and so horrible. And then you have the whole divorce paradox, where divorce is treated like one of the worst sins in the world. That marriage is the most sacred thing you could ever do. And then you have people staying in abusive marriages because they're taught that leaving that marriage is worse than the abuse that's happening inside it. God hates divorce becomes your cage. And like, even if there isn't physical abuse or spiritual abuse or mental abuse or verbal abuse happening within a marriage, if you guys are drifting apart and you're not aligning anymore and it's clear that like we are not on the same page and this is not work throughable and we are not a good match, like break up. Like, yeah, the divorce, and if kids are involved, it does make everything way more complicated. And I don't have kids. I don't want to speak on marriages dissolving when there's kids involved, especially because I'm not in that situation. But also, anything you watch, even this video, take with a grain of salt. I'm talking about my own perspective and my own experiences, and everyone's experiences are unique and different. So don't just watch this video and be like, okay, this is what I gotta do. Like, if it rings true for you, then it rings true for you, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't. I'm not telling anybody what to do. I'm just sharing my own experiences, and if you can relate to it and if it does ring true, then that's that. I just want to be able to provide a resource when all we've ever been shoved down our throats is divorce is one of the worst sins and blah blah blah. You know what I know you know what I'm talking about. And I think the last thing is maybe the only benefit to waiting before marriage is that sexual tension is just like built. Like that anticipation is there. That shared first experience, like that is important. That is impactful. Even if you have slept with other people before, like your first time with that other person is special and beautiful. So yes, there is importance to your first time with anybody, but do you need to go through the whole process of getting married just to have that first experience? The whole purity culture thing, maybe the people in the beginning had good intentions, but nowadays, your purity being above all else, give me a fucking break. Give me a fucking break. You are not any less just because you slept with somebody. Like, that's the fucking biggest lie of all humankind, I think. Woo! Anyway, feel free to download my deconstruction survival kit. I have it linked below in the description. Comment below your thoughts on this. I read every comment I'm always in the comments. I would love to hear your perspective. What do you think? Did you have sex before marriage? Because I definitely did and am, and I'm loving it. It's great. It's amazing. It's consensual. As long as it's consensual and consensual. All right, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.